Hey YouTube, welcome to another video from SkinnyMedic. Today is National Stop the Bleed Day. So I wanted to post a video for you guys. This is a great topic, a great idea when you're talking about either buying a Stop the Bleed kit, because there's plenty of sales going today, or if you want to build your own Stop the Bleed kit, or maybe just pull some supplies together that you already have to build a Stop the Bleed kit, this video is going to be for you. So when we're thinking about a Stop the Bleed kit, it is different than a trauma kit. A trauma kit is going to have MPAs, it can have chest seals, needle decompressions, many other items, but a true Stop the Bleed kit probably only has just a few items in it, and it's made to stop life-threatening bleeding, life-threatening hemorrhaging, bleeding that we cannot control with direct pressure, that we are going to die before first responders get to us or we get to the hospital. That is what a Stop the Bleed kit is designed for. Before we continue the video, real quick, thank you TriStar Trading for the shirt. This shirt's awesome. I'm going to wear it all summer. If you like this shirt or some other cool shirts, go to tristartrading.com. Thank you guys. Tell them SkinnyMedic sent you. So a tourniquet's probably going to be the first thing we want to look at. And there's plenty on the market. There's plenty of really good ones on the market. So find one that you like and stick with it, kind of like your wife. A tourniquet is going to control major bleeding on the arms and the legs. This is bleeding that we cannot control with direct pressure. You're trying to hold direct pressure on it, but you cannot get the bleeding to stop. You want to put a tourniquet on it several inches above the wound, high as you want to. I don't really care, just as long as you put the tourniquet between the wound and your heart. So with the cat tourniquet, Gen 7 cat tourniquet here, we're going to put it on as tight as possible. Get this Velcro super tight, and you turn the windlass until bleeding stops. Typically it's a couple of turns. You can go ahead and pull this through, pull your timestamp over, make the time up that you want to put on there, and the bleeding should be controlled. And like I said, there's plenty of tourniquets on the market. You just got to find the one that you like. The Sam XT, the Everyday Tourniquet here, the Soft T. There's plenty on the market. Just find the one that you like. Heck, there's even the 2X2, TX3 tourniquets. These things are pretty darn cool. Typically with kids, it always gets brought up, they really don't need tourniquets for the most part. Their arms are so small that really a pressure bandage works great for them. That's where the SWAT T tourniquet comes in for me personally, is on kids, because they don't really need a true tourniquet, but this one will allow it to go down super small, so we can use it as a pressure bandage or a tourniquet. And then with the new recommendations coming out from TCCC committee, they really are talking about converting tourniquets faster. So we put the tourniquet on, we get bleeding control, and then we use gauze to wound pack and convert the tourniquet. I would leave this to professionals, but we can convert a tourniquet pretty easily. And that brings us into our next piece of item that we need to look for our kit, is gauze. Compressed gauze is just fine, honestly. It's good for the budget. The data, the research really does show that compressed gauze will work. If you've got good technique and you're doing a really good job of wound packing and keeping pressure to the source, regular old compressed gauze works. I do think hemostatic agents help the process. If maybe this is your first time wound packing, you haven't done it before, this will kind of help you overcome some of those rookie moves. So combat gauze C-locks are going to be your two major choices here. They both work similar, but how they act in the body is different. I've done plenty of videos on it, but pick one and stick with it. If we're thinking about more of a budgetary, maybe that middle of the road item where you want to do something a little bit more than compressed gauze, I would look at the EMS roll gauze. This is very similar. It's the exact same thing to combat gauze material. It's just less material, and it's about half the cost of a roll of combat gauze. So you could buy this plus this, so you start out wound packing with your EMS rolled gauze, and then backfill with compressed gauze, and that middle ground, budgetary-wise, is where you're at. And then typically, after we get through wound packing, we're going to use a pressure bandage. There again, there's plenty of pressure bandages on the market. With the Elias, Israeli, North American Rescue, plenty on the market. Just pick one. The Elias bandage is awesome. The Israeli bandage is another good one. It's probably the most popular one. This is an 8-inch version. This is a big boy. They make them in 4 and 6 inches as well. Obviously, the North American Rescue pressure bandages are great. Another one that we like is the one from Safeguard Medical. This is just an elastic wrap. It's just a fancy ace bandage, but it's small, compact, and works fantastic. So really and truly, when we're talking about a Stop the Bleed kit, we really only have 3 components, maybe a few more, but the foundation is 3 products. You have a tourniquet, gauze, and pressure bandage. If you want to add an extra tourniquet, just to be sure, good. If you want to add a little bit more gauze, good. But really, you have 3 core foundational products on your foundation of your Stop the Bleed kit. If I were going to recommend one more item, here it is. So after we get through controlling life-threatening bleeding, which is the #1 killer, hypothermia comes next. It is easier to prevent hypothermia than to fix it. So if you got plenty of room, like this blizzard blanket is awesome. This little Mylar blanket will do wonders. So if you're thinking about one more item and you've got room, I would add a space blanket, Mylar blanket. So I hope this video helps if you're thinking about building your own or you're looking at purchasing a Stop the Bleed kit. I already sent an email out to everyone who's subscribed to the Medical Gear Outfitters email list. I gave a coupon code in there, so unfortunately, if you're not on the email list, you didn't get it. And if you'd like to sign up for that to get future discounts, go to medicalgearoutfitters.com, sign up, and you'll get discount codes as well. I appreciate you guys. If you're looking for these items, please go to medicalgearoutfitters.com. Look at all the items we have there. You're supporting the channel and supporting our small business, and we appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching. You never know when you'll be the first responder. Remember the right gear and the right training.